Hey guys, how's it going? I have breaking news from Michigan, and this is not good news. And I'm going to be going over an article just published by the Detroit Free Press by Paul Egan. And it's titled, Michigan Capitol Commission Bans Open Carry of Guns Inside State Capitol. Out of Lansing, the Michigan Capitol Commission, in a sudden reversal, voted unanimously Monday to ban the open carry of guns inside the Michigan Capitol, effective immediately. And I had talked about this before, but last September they voted whether to ban guns when it was called upon by the Democrats, Dana Nessel, Gretchen Whitmer, etc. And they actually did not ban, and we'll get onto that in just a minute, why they didn't before, and why in what seems to be a knee-jerk reaction in regards to what happened at the National Capitol in Washington, D.C. on the 6th, they're suddenly reversing their roles. And I want to emphasize this before I continue. They voted unanimously. And the majority of these people were actually appointed by the Republican-controlled House and Senate. So, yes, Democrats are coming after, it appears, all of our guns. And if you don't believe me, just watch this video. I'm going to read it myself. But Republicans are also willing to come after some of our guns, enough of our guns. I'll continue. It starts off right away. Critics say the ban does not go far enough, and the commission should ban all firearms inside the Capitol, whether they are carried openly or concealed by anyone who is not law enforcement. And I would know, there's people within the gun community, and you'll probably respond to this video, which is fine, that say, hey, why not just get a CPL? Why not just concealed carry? And I'm going to get my view right out in the open. Because our rights were not given to us by the legislators, by the government. Our rights were given to us by God. These are natural rights. And the government is supposed to swear an oath to protect our rights, not to take them. And when you have to get a permit, which is a government permission slip, and pay a fee, doesn't sound like a God-given right to me. It sounds like just what it is, a permission slip, where you're asking the government permission to exercise rights that they did not give you. And if people thought they would stop there, let me continue. The commission had resisted such a move for years and sometimes claimed it did not have the authority to order a gun ban, despite building pressure in recent months and angry protests, often involving armed men inside and outside the Capitol, according to the Detroit Free Press. This all appeared to change on January 6th, and they're characterizing it as a mob causing significant damage in the nation's capital. Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey, Republican, came out in favor of a ban on open carry of weapons. There you go, there's the Republican. Also contributing was a recent opinion from Attorney General Dana Nessel that said the commission does have the authority to ban guns. Keep that in mind. Now, here's where stuff's going to be heating up a little bit, and I think this is a Michigan issue right now, but this applies to the whole entire country. Listen to this. The FBI has issued a bulletin saying armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals from January 16th through at least January 20th, and the U.S. Capitol from January 17th through at least January 20th. And I am aware of one that's in the planning stages right now in Michigan's capital. And it goes on to say Michigan State Police is increasing its visible presence at the Capitol for the next couple weeks out of an abundance of caution. Or, like as we always say, when the government fears the people, there's liberty, but when the people fear the government, there's tyranny. And maybe a lot of people will be intimidated to come to their state capitals by this increased presence of armed men in uniforms. In my opinion, that might be what they're doing here. It does go on to say open carry is still permitted on the Capitol grounds outside. It says Michigan was only one of 3 states with virtually no firearms regulations or security measures in place. And here's the kicker. Democrat leaders urged the Michigan State Capitol Commission to ban all firearms and weapons before the 101st legislature convenes this Wednesday. So, this commission, which has long held they do not have the authority to ban firearms. They've said it as recent as this last September 2020, as well as for years. Now they say they do. And they're just going to throw the Democrats a bone to get them off of our back, right? Well, let me continue. House Democrats said in advance of the meeting, the open carry ban does not go far enough and said the carrying of all firearms, open or concealed, should be banned inside the Capitol except by law enforcement, because there's always an exception for them. But John Truscott, the vice chairman of the commission, said the commission does not have the budget or infrastructure to go further. Setting up metal detectors would cost too much money and too much delay. It goes on to say the Capitol Commission consists of the Secretary of the Senate, the Clerk of the House, which are both controlled by Republicans, 2 individuals jointly appointed by the Secretary of the Senate and the Clerk of the House, and 2 individuals appointed by the Governor. He said, so it goes on to say, despite the opinion issued by the Attorney General, House Speaker-elect Jason Wentworth, he's coming in like 2 days, right? Republican of Clare said the commission does not have the authority to set policy in the Capitol. And I've studied this whole issue several times, and that's also my belief. They don't have the authority. But again, in a knee-jerk reaction, they want to capitulate to the other side. But it continues. He said in a news release that he will be looking at options for handling that moving forward, but said the Michigan State Police will immediately begin enforcing the new policy, and he asked for the public to follow the new policy to ensure there is no confusion in the Capitol. So this went into effect right now. By the time you're hearing this, open carry of firearms are already banned inside the Michigan Capitol building. He's going to try to fight it, but right now, probably doesn't want people to get shot if they carry a firearm into the Capitol. Joey Roberts, president of Michigan Open Carry, a group that promotes the right to openly carry firearms, completely disagrees with this too and says among his concerns is whether the commission violated the Open Meetings Act by not giving an opportunity for public input before making the decision. And I would note, when they met today at 1 p.m., there's on the Senate, there's a webpage where you can watch video live feeds. I tried it a few minutes before 1. Nothing. Error has occurred when you tried to watch it. At 1:30, I tried it again at 2. I was unable to even watch it via remote Zoom, let alone the fact that apparently they locked the building and kept the public out of this meeting. And we do have an Open Meetings Act in Michigan. So keep that in mind. So he's wanting to see the policy in writing so that their attorneys can go over it. So we'll see what happens there. Now let's get to this, because I said so many people, a lot of you guys call yourselves the reasonable gun folks, and I'm very reasonable. I think it's reasonable that our country is created among men. Now the government would only be there to protect our God-given rights, and that they would only serve at the pleasure and the consent of the governed. And since the government didn't give us our rights, they can't take them away. And I think that's reasonable. But some of the reasonable folks often tell me, they say, well, hold on a minute. As long as we can still carry with our CPL, we'll be okay. No, you're not going to be okay. Because once you give them an inch, they always take a mile. So I'm going to continue. Commissioner Joan Bauer said Monday, this action should be viewed as a first step. And Governor Gretchen Whitmer said more action is needed. So the Republicans just capitulated, gave them open carry. They gave it up, even after they said they couldn't do it. And within seconds, Gretchen Whitmer chimes in. The Capitol Commission's action to ban open carry at the Capitol is a good start, but more action is needed. On a normal day, hundreds of people walk through the Capitol, including groups of 4th graders, teachers, and parents, on school field trips to learn about state government, Whitmer said. That's why we must take action to ban all weapons at the Capitol to keep Michiganders safe. Let me repeat that. The Republicans capitulated and said, well, you can ban certain types because all of us have our CPL and we paid to exercise our rights that were given to us by God. So we'll give you that. And what did the Democrat governor come back and say? We must take action to ban all weapons at the Capitol. I am hopeful, she continues, that the Capitol Commission will recognize the need for further action, and I stand ready to assist in implementing this policy to keep Michiganders safe. And she's not going to keep us safe, and I don't trust her to keep us safe. We're responsible for our own safety. And you know what this makes crystal clear to me? We're responsible for upholding our God-given natural rights. See, these are not our Second Amendment rights. People often get that confused. The Second Amendment does not give us rights. These rights were given to us by God, by our Creator. And the Second Amendment is a strict prohibition, telling the government, hands off, shall not be infringed. Article 1, Section 6 of the Michigan Constitution says that we have the right to keep and bear arms, and the Michigan government didn't give us that right either. So, really, this is up to us to decide. Permission slips? Do we want to keep capitulating to the left and saying, well, I have a CPL, I have the money to get one, even though I would know what a lot of people that do have the money are trying to get CPLs in Michigan right now. Right now, and due to this virus, this flu, they call it so many things, I don't know what to call it anymore. Their local sheriff's offices aren't able to process them in a timely manner. And I know people that have been waiting months and months to get this CPL, even after they were willing to pay for it. You know, the Constitution doesn't just protect the rights of the connected people, people that wear badges. It doesn't just protect the rights of people that can afford a CPL. These rights were given to us before any government ever existed. We still have them, and we always will have them. These rights can't be taken away, but the free exercise thereof is what they're infringing and treading upon. And that's where it's up to us to decide whether we're going to keep on allowing their infringements or not. I'm going to be getting a hold of Jason Wentworth right away. He needs to turn this around because this Capitol Commission has said numerous times they do not have the authority, and now they say they do. So right now in Michigan, open carry of firearms is prohibited inside the Capitol building, effective immediately. The police will be there to apprehend, maybe worse, whatever happens when you face police and you're armed and they're armed. That's in effect right now. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, okay? I don't believe in complying with unjust laws, but Jason Wentworth's coming in just 2 days. Do I believe he's going to save us, the Michigan Speaker of the House? No. But we still need to fight these battles as much as we can, diplomatically, through the courts, until all options have failed us, and we'll see what happens. But the main thing is, the Democrats have said right here, they want all of them banned, and they're going to not stop until they either get all the guns or we put it to a stop. So let's see what happens here in the upcoming days and weeks. I think this is just the start in Michigan and throughout the rest of the United States. The Founding Fathers, they put their grievances down in the Declaration of Independence. They tried diplomacy. They tried letters, and I'm still working as hard as I can on all those things right now. And right now, I do suggest that's what we keep doing. So if you guys wrote these commissioners, called them, you know, good job. I appreciate you guys, and I'm proud to be standing here in Michigan with all of you. We lost this one. It sucks. But it doesn't mean that we're going to lose on all of them, and we need to just double down and have twice as much energy to try to get this repealed and prevent all the ensuing bans, because Gretchen Whitmer says she wants all of them banned on the Capitol, and I do believe her. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good one.